the incarnate from Procyon. Note from Tantarum: a gentleman approached me very discreetly and did not wish to reveal his identity. I was given this story after I told him of my own experiences as an incarnate on this planet. Here is the story he told me. Introduction. Finally, I have finished writing the description of my dream/experience. It took a lot of time. All the weekends, because of emotions. Also because English is not my native language and I had to carefully choose the words, to avoid any confusion. Also because I was trying my best to make sure all details are correct and writing as careful as possible. I apologize if some minor details are distorted and not exactly true. This dream happened recently in this year, 2013, and I did not think much about it before these last few weekends. Maybe later there would be improved versions with some changed details. As soon as you read it, you would understand why it could be dangerous to share it open. If the dark forces, that are controlling our planet at the moment, would learn about my experience, they would probably like to have some kind of revenge, maybe even kill me. If you would like to use my experience for your YouTube channel, please use it only for clarification purposes of your previous 2 videos about Procyon. Please do not share any private parts which could put me in danger. There is no true anonymity in the internet. Even with tools, everyone could be traced down. I believe you. Do not betray me. Why I am sharing this dream/experience with you then? 1. Because I trust you and I like your videos. 2. Because you shared your story with me. 3. Because it seemed to have been an assisted dream. 4. To tell you about some alien technologies. 5. To tell you more about the history of Procyon. Aside from the introduction, there are 2 letters in your inbox. The first letter mostly contains the descriptions of dream episodes. The second letter is mostly about explanations and additional information. First letter, description of dream. As I said in the introduction, it seems to be an assisted dream. Between the episodes, and sometimes during them, there were interruptions. I felt myself in a bright pink light, but I did not see anything except this light. My eyes were closed. During that, a female voice said, Procyon, and also a male voice said, Hero of War of Procyon. These words were said in my native language. But the Hero of War of Procyon sentence was grammatically incorrect. According to the rules of my language, it should have been in genitive case. So, what does this mean? That means, these benevolent aliens found a way to track me down, that it is possible to track down souls, and also that aliens have the technology which could help one to remember about previous incarnations. Also, because these interruptions occurred several times, it seems that they wanted to make sure that I will remember this. But why? It seems, some important events are going to happen, and, in addition to other things, they help some Earth people to remember about their previous extraterrestrial incarnations. I do not think I was temporarily abducted. That would be hard to accomplish, because I live in a high apartment building with many levels. 3 possible cases are, 1. They put a lot of efforts into the abduction, unlikely, because they avoid exposure. 2. This technology could work remotely, a bit more likely. 3. This technology is portable and was applied on me by 2 aliens, after they have somehow gotten inside my room. That is what I believe. Despite I live with a family, I live alone in a room and it has a window. Regained memories. Episode 1, me, along with my comrades, are rushing to a cave. Some of us, including me, enters the cave. Meanwhile, others were covering our backs outside the cave. We were close to the entrance as well. Inside the cave, we started to attack our enemies. It was dark inside the cave, but my weapon had the aim with a weird night vision feature, which was not similar to any Earth conventional night vision. My weapon was not similar to Earth's conventional weapons as well. There was no recoil. I did not see any flashing during the attack, no bullets, and probably no sound. About the enemies, although I am able to remember only some shapes and shadows, I am sure they were reptilians or other malevolent aliens. Despite our furious attacks, their pressure was becoming stronger and we were forced to move back from the cave. The situation gets difficult, but we continue our attacks. Suddenly, not far from me, there was a weird, partially transparent, blast in the shape of an expanding sphere. It swallowed my comrade and probably seriously injured me, because it was the last moment I remember from this episode. Episode 2, I am at the city square near a nice fountain, wearing shiny gold color armor, looking at the sky and the water. A messenger approaches me. He tells me that I had to make a visit to the Queen at a specified time. I remember about the sad destiny of other heroes of the War of Procyon, and guessed about what would happen to me soon, but I could not do anything about it. My life did not belong to me anymore. Episode 3-1. It is at night, I am at home. I live alone, I do not have a family. The house is not big, it has 2 stairs. It is highly technological, maybe even luxury. But I was very sad, because all the people were caught in a horrible trap/manipulation, and my sad life was coming to an end. The meeting with the Queen was approaching, a marriage would be conducted soon, and I do not know how much time I would be able to live after that. Then suddenly, the event happened which changed my life. An engineer ran inside my house. It seems he was a bit familiar to me, probably an inventor/constructor/maintainer of my armor. He ran over to me and unlocked me from their control. Episode 3-2, the engineer, as well as other people, had an implanted location chip, before he ran inside my house. So, after some time after episode 3-1, 2 police officers/special service agents entered my house. I knew that they would arrive, and prepared for that. To avoid any suspicions, as soon as they entered my house, I killed the engineer at their site, with some bursting weapon, which was built into my armor. Episode 3 Extra, missing part between 3-1 and 3-2, which I remembered instantly after the dream. After I woke up, it was strange for me, how it could be possible that I killed this engineer and did not feel any sad emotions. But what I remembered next, on the 2nd floor of the house, there was a clone machine which could quickly make a copy of a body, like a 3D printer. It looked similar to Earth's solariums. Perhaps it was used for reanimation of the heroes of war. We were their puppets. They needed us for their purposes, so they did not want us to die too early. With the help of this machine, it seems to be possible to make a backup of the body, print the backup, and maybe transfer the soul from origin to clone. Now I am sure that I killed a clone of the engineer, or the engineer himself, but his soul was transferred. The location chip was deactivated at the same moment as I killed the body. About the engineer, he probably stayed at my house for a while, hiding near this cloning machine, and then left. Episode 4, I enter a cruise ship, but probably it was a masked spaceship which was just placed on the water. I have quickly reached the Queen's room, because it was not too far from the entrance. I see the Queen and I feel that she is not a human, probably a reptilian shapeshifter. She wants me to get close to her, maybe trying to seduce me. I am pretending to be controlled, to use it as a chance to get closer, but soon after I get very close to her I enable the electrocute function of my armor. It was possible for me because I was unlocked by the engineer. By that action, I killed her or left her unconscious. I think I killed her, and it would be deserved, for what she had done to our people. Then I turn on an object which looks like a large flat TV, but it was not just a TV, but a reverse TV, with a camera. You connect, and then all the people could see you and you tell them something. Exclusive TV for broadcasting video. I turned it on because I wanted to say something important to our people. But quite soon after that, 2 royal guards, it seemed they were aliens as well. They looked strange, just like the 2 previous ones from episode 3-2 are rushing inside to the room, and I do not remember about what happened next. Was I killed, or arrested? I don't know, but it seems that I was killed, because this was the last episode. Second letter, explanation and additional information. Episode 1 Explanation. Because the battle was extremely stressful situation, it is hard for me to remember sounds. Also, despite I remember the colors before entering the cave, it is difficult to remember colors after we were forced to move back from the cave. It was almost like a black and white movie, especially the last moments with the blast in a form of a sphere. I could not even be sure about the color of this sphere. About our weapons, probably they were electromagnetic weapons, but I could not be sure about that. Episode 2 Explanation. Unfortunately, I did not pay much attention to city buildings and people at this moment. It seems there were nearly any skyscrapers, most buildings did not have many levels, although the city looked to be quite high technological. The sky was bright, but unlike Earth it was reddish, not bluish. About shiny gold color armor, I believed it was not just a fancy armor, but a special armor with built-in life support system. Because of 2 reasons. 1. Not only during this episode, but also during all the later episodes I was wearing the same armor. 2. I could have received some heavy injuries during the war, maybe from the blast in the first episode. It seems that this armor included some weaponry systems. There was a feeling like I was a cyborg. Also, when I was remembering the sad destiny of other heroes of the War of Procyon, I remembered their images, and they were wearing the same gold-colored armor. About sad destiny of heroes of War of Procyon, dark forces have infiltrated our elite. Our queen was not human, maybe a reptilian shapeshifter, but I do not remember if this fact was known by the public. Probably not. It seems, to support the legitimacy of this infiltrated government, the king was needed. That is why we were forced to marry the queen. In addition to the location chips, which were somehow installed to all the people of our planet, we were somehow controlled by the mechanical part of us. And, I guess, even if there was a smallest sign of control loss, the hero was killed instantly, and then they told people that this hero died by natural causes, because of war wounds, etc. I was not to be the first. There were several heroes before, who were forced to marry and died after some time. I am completely sure that there was an infiltration, but how it happened? I could not be sure about it. Episode 3 explanation. It seems that, because the engineer unlocked me, I still could receive a controlling signal from them, but I could also decide whether to do as they wished or not. But how they did not know that this engineer was near me for a period of time, which is enough to unlock me, and did not suspect anything. I have two possible explanations. 1. Their tracking system was not precise enough. But I doubt it. With such great technology, it is unlikely. 2. My house had a special shielding. It was installed because dark forces were afraid that somehow somebody could unlock me remotely. But, as a result, the system of tracking was not working inside. They could determine who enters the house, but could not determine the movements inside the house. Episode 4 explanation. I cannot tell for sure. But I really hope that I have managed to connect and say something important to the planet nation, despite I was interrupted soon by 2 royal guards, and it seems that I was killed. I really hope that my sacrifice was not in vain, and somehow contributed to the liberation of the Procyons. It seems, there's lots of truth in Chris's article. Note from Tantarum. This article is named The Liberation of the Procyons from the Orion Group and can be found in its original form as a link in the description below or on truthcontrol.com, and I was very happy to learn about the recent liberation. Important additional information. I wasn't the greatest warrior. The greatest warriors died on the battlefield. I was just lucky that I did not die. If it was a really true memory about my previous incarnation, and not some cruel joke of aliens, then I believe the dark forces are greatly pissed off, as a result of episode 4, and I am afraid of revenge. I would like to add credibility to my story, because even for me it looks like some cool science fiction. 1. I am rather sure that I did not know about the word Procyon before my dream, despite I read Wikipedia a lot. As I have told in one of my messages, several hours after the dream I searched Procyon, unknown word from my dream, in Google, and was really shocked that it was a name of a constellation. 2. I became really interested in weird stuff only after this dream, mainly because of the unknown word, which made total sense with a very strange well-stitched dream. Not like I was not interested at all before the dream. I believed that aliens existed, watched some YouTube videos, and even participated at SETI at home, but my interest was rather moderate. 3. I did not watch any Star Wars, or other movies of this category, before the dream. Moreover, I rarely watch movies, because for me they feel like a waste of 1.5 hours. I would like to learn as much as possible about Procyon. Note from Tantarum. I would like to ask the watchers of this video, who has any information about Procyon, to leave a comment containing what they know and or have experienced. Thank you.